The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn said the Jets had to get bigger this offseason. Does history show us that is the right plan for the New York Jets? Plus, Joe Tippmann is sticking around a new extension. Frankie Vitz going to join me. We'll talk about that and more on your champion, NBA champion, New York Knicks. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans and Knick fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. Reminder, if you ever missed the show, we post the full show as an audio podcast on Apple and Spotify. We're live every day, typically in the 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern hour, and both shows on YouTube every day are uploaded to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify. So watch live on YouTube and listen anywhere, wherever you get your podcast. With that, we say hello to the co-founder of U Stadium and the co-host of the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post. It's our friend, Tanky V. Frankie V. Frankie, you were at Ryan Sampson's wedding over the weekend, so you're watching the Knicks win a championship with Ryan and a bunch of people at a wedding? That's wild.
Man, let me tell you. So before the wedding started, and by the way, hello, Jake and everyone. Thanks for having me on, man. Before the wedding had started, we were talking like, I wonder if Lex, Ryan's wife, if she would like that this game's happening. Like, you don't want people, hunched in a corner. No one's on the dance floor looking at a phone, looking at this Knicks game. Bro, it made the party even better. They actually put the game on these two TVs and we're dancing amidst the game. And the DJ's doing a good job of switching between the game and music. It was like a live wedding watch party. It was actually awesome. It actually made the wedding better. There we go.
That is awesome. Shout out to Ryan, good friend of the show. Does a good job on the
Ryan's
pod with you and Kaz. I mean, that's the way to do it, because if you're going to have your wedding during an NBA Finals game, you have to do it, because if you didn't, everyone would just be checking their phones or be trying to find a different place to watch it. No one would be focused on the actual wedding.
100%, man. 100%. It was, it actually added to the wedding. It made the wedding even that much better. And especially because they won. So when they had won, the after party was better. There was a few other parties in the same hotel. So you just had an influx of just wedding party goers and freaking Knicks fans. And we're in Long Island, New York. Like, it was just, it was great, man. It was a night you're going to remember. This whole run are going to be nights that I'm going to remember. Maybe not the end, the tail end of some nights I may not remember, but but for the most part, this has just been a run that is historic on many levels. It's great for the city too. Somebody said it today. There's a different air to New York, and it's been needed for a bit. So yeah, it's been great, man.
It just shows you one of the few things that could still bring everyone together, different political views, races, religions, creeds, whatever.
Yeah,
is sports. And that's what the Knicks have done for so many people. And then there's the Jets, who now all by themselves, 57 years without a title. Hopefully the Knicks provide some good karma for the Jets, because it was always the Jets and the Knicks with the longest just title droughts, right? Teams that had won a championship that haven't won since. The Nets have never won an NBA title. They did win an ABA championship. So you look at the list, like the Jets They're at 57. The Knicks were at 53. Now they are all by themselves.
Yeah, man. And that wasn't a post Super Bowl era Super Bowl either, but still counts obviously. But yeah, we're all by ourselves. Hey, we're gonna be due eventually. We're gonna be due. I think the Jets will win, Jake. God willing, in our lifetime. I do. I think the tide's starting to turn a little bit here. Maybe not with the head coach, but there's a bunch of things happening. And you know what, Jake? Looking at this Knicks run, you look at what Jalen Brunson did for this city and the leader that he was for this city. You need somebody like that in New York. You're going to need somebody, whether it's a quarterback, it's a head coach, somebody that's really going to come in that's a no-nonsense sort of person, has all the confidence in the world. And that's what Jalen Brunson did for the Knicks. He's the most confident athlete I've ever seen. He's shorter than everybody on the court 90% of the time. He's slower than everyone on the court. He can barely dunk. And he's got short arms. At combine, he was in the 1 percentile of mostly everything. And he was the best player in the NBA from start to finish this year. He just was. And that's a credit to even his father, the kinds of things that Rick Brunson did for Jalen to turn him into a tough SOB growing up. And Jalen just never wavers, man. Never falters under pressure. There's a reason he won 2 chips at Villanova and he won one now in the NBA.
He is an immortal in this town now forever. I mean, he is a combination of Messier, Jeter, Rivera, Namath, just one of the all-time great winners, clutch performers, humble superstar, man. And he came out of nowhere, and it's the best thing to happen to the Knicks in my lifetime. Speaking of the Knicks, end of the show. If you want the hat I'm wearing, it is the official NBA champion Knick hat that they wore on the floor once they won. Sold out everywhere. I went down to the MSG team store this morning, and I was able to buy an extra one. So the hat I'm wearing on my head, you can get your own for all the Knick fans out there trying to get championship swag, and everything's on back order. You can't get to somewhere where they actually have it in stock. But that is our raffle prize.
What time did you get there this morning?
I walked in at 9:26.
Oh,
opened at 9.
And there was stuff available? You just walked in?
Yeah, some of the stuff was gone already, but it didn't take that long to get in this morning. I had a flight back from Boston this morning. It dropped me off right in front of Penn Station, and I guess I got lucky. Was able to get in there and spend about $300 worth of memorabilia and swag for this Knicks run. But I got my chain for the parade on Thursday.
Let's go.
Got my Larry O.
That's a cool ass chain. I like that.
Let's go, baby.
What time you getting there on Thursday? I was thinking about. I may
4 a.m.
I may just sit that one out. Yeah, 4 a.m. I may be going to sleep by then. Yeah,
unreal.
Yeah,
unreal. Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Before we get to some of the comments that Aaron Glenn made last week about the strategy behind some of these Jet signings, we actually got real Jet news today. Joe Tippmann, he's sticking around. Darren Muji is proactive with another extension here. So Joe Tippmann, who was going into the final year of his deal, he has agreed to a 4-year, $62 million extension from the Jets. As far as the guaranteed money goes, the official terms of the guarantee, at least as far as what we know that's been reported, is roughly $31 million or so. Makes Joe Tippmann the 15th highest paid guard in the league, which is, to me, more than reasonable. What was your initial reaction to seeing the Tippmann extension?
Yeah, there were some murmurs that it was going to happen. At first, when I looked at the money, I'm like, little high, to be honest, right? My honest reaction. But looking at it in comparison to the other guards, I hadn't realized what that market really turned into until I sort of put up Spotrac and sort of looking at some of the numbers. Guaranteed, he is up there. I believe he's top 5 in total guaranteed, but they front loaded most of it. So that cap hit, if they had to move on or something happens, not going to be so bad. Dead cap meaning. So I think Darren Muji is telling us and everyone out there the things that he values, and that's offensive line play, and it's getting to the quarterback. And it's clear to me that that's basically what he's been doing. Picking David Bailey over Arvell Reese showed me that. some of the trades that he's made. He likes these defensive linemen that he can sort of rotate. And look what he's done. He's, taken another top 10 offensive lineman, and now he's shored up a guard that plays a little center and is going to be sort of like a linchpin up front there for this, new age Jets, I call them. And that's what you got to do in the NFL, man. You got to build the trenches on both ends. And on the other side, you got to get to the quarterback. So you got to stop players from getting to the quarterback, and you got to get to the quarterback. So I like what Muji's doing. Jake, he gets these deals done quick too. I heard like a few days ago murmurs about Tittman and the Jets, and 2 days later, sure enough, a deal's done. Similar situation with Breece Hall. I didn't think they were going to get a deal done before that July 15th deadline.
And they're all reasonable. There's like sound logic behind them. There's an out after 2 years, just like this. It's basically an out after 2 with Breece. Like, again, every starter on offense besides Geno is under contract now. A year from now, they are laying the foundation for whoever the quarterback actually is. Like, there's a real plan that they're trying to execute here. I have real faith in Darren Muji. I think he's done a nice job to this point. The big swings are coming, whether it be at quarterback, obviously. And if Glenn can't figure it out, I think Muji's going to get a chance to hire a coach. So there's a real plan in place here, and they're set up. If they actually could get quarterback right and head coach TBD, they are set up to at least have the right infrastructure to be successful, unlike what happened with Sam Darnold, who was the right pick, but was failed by the organization. Like, they're learning from seemingly that, at least with the moves they've made now the last year and a half with Darren Muji at the helm.
Totally, man. And we're not going to appreciate this offensive line until we get a quarterback or we get an offensive coordinator that's really doing some unique things. Once those things happen, ideally both of those things happen in similar timelines, we'll really appreciate this offensive line. And I've told everyone that I've spoken to about the Jets that I think that's the number one unit that they should invest the most in, because if you walk into a stadium on Sunday and you say that we have the better offensive line 9 out of 10 times, that really puts you at an advantage in today's NFL. We've seen teams like the Eagles do that and win Super Bowls doing that. So the Ravens do that. Like, you got to start building around a unit or two that you feel like is a differentiator for your team on Sundays. And I think Muji gets that. It's the offensive line and it's the defensive front in terms of pressure on the quarterback. I like what he's doing. You see, he's not really investing too much in corner or even safety to a degree. It's not like they're trading up to get safeties. Yeah, they got Minka, but they're not looking at positions that I don't really value as much as other, people may. And I think he gets it in that regard. And he's trying to build differently, man, with certain things that he's done with Kenyon Sadiq, drafting him. This team could be really good. They just need the quarterback and offensive coordinator to sort of get it together. And then I think the defense will work itself out, even if they're not a top, 10 unit. I think they'll be good enough, or if the offense can put up points, they're not going to blow games, on a weekly basis.
From your lips to God's ears on that one. But I do think they're taking the right steps to turning this around. Because, again, if it doesn't work out with Glenn, is this not one of the better job openings in the league? 3 ones, $150 million in cap space. 3 of your 5 offensive linemen are above average and certainly signed long-term. Number 1 wide receiver, we believe, and he better be, otherwise your head will be on a stick, a pike, an elite pass rusher, the number 2 pick in the draft, and David Bailey. There's some players here, man. They're like, you have the makings of a real team once you figure out coach and quarterback. And obviously those are the biggest 2, but you're an attractive destination to be able to land both, and you're in position to get the quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, man. This is what a head coach would want to ask for, is the flexibility with draft capital, our team-friendly deals, a young roster that has multiple guys that can really play at the same time or the same position. You know how nice it is to say, oh, we have Kenyon Sadiq and we have Mason Taylor. Oh, we have Omar Cooper Jr. and we have Garrett Wilson. By the way, we also have Breece Hall, and that's just the offense.
Yep.
And people think the offense stinks, and they did stink last year to, in every facet of what an offense should do. But then you look at the offensive line now. with Olu.
Frankie, I think their offense is better than the defense right now.
On paper, it is. Yeah, I mean, definitely. If you line up, I just named players. I didn't name the 2 bookend tackles. I didn't even talk about Tittman in that whole rundown of players. Yeah, talent-wise, definitely. So when you're looking on paper, and if you were to give them a score based on a talent rating, I agree with you. I think early on, I think the defense will be the better unit. I feel like there's more experience there. There's more continuity. Glenn's a defensive coordinator. So, I mean, they should look a little better. But I agree with you, though, Jake. I think that offense is going to have some moments where you're like, damn, like we're able to put up, 35 points in a game or 3 scores and a half. I think they're going to pull that off a few times this year. I do.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Jet fans, you feeling better about the offense or the defense? And write in the chat your thoughts on the Joe Tittman contract extension. I think it's an awesome move, and I think there's real hope for the New York Jets. Maybe that's the Knick fan in me now trying to project some optimism, but why not, baby? The New York Knicks are NBA champions. Let's go. It doesn't matter that I've only slept a combined 3 hours since they won. It doesn't matter, baby. World champ. Shout out to Mad Team. He is in our raffle for the hat I am wearing and the Knick playoff towel for 5 entries. Let's go, Mike Brown.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who? We got some dogs on this team, baby.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he did that.
East Trinity, Juan Suarez, Daryl Stevens, Jeremy Brammett, that ship led, all receiving a gifted membership from Mad Team 3. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. I want to read you a couple quotes here from Aaron Glenn talking about the Jets' philosophy this offseason. He said, in a nutshell, they wanted to get bigger to compete in a, quote, big man's game. The first quote is from Rich Cimini's article. Everyone should check it out. Rich's Sunday weekly Jets notes column is a must read if you're a fan of this team. And obviously, Rich and I do a podcast together, so you can get Rich's more thoughts on these topics every week on the Jets Collective. But Aaron Glenn said the line, mass kicks ass, and that the Jets shifted into jumbo jet mode this offseason. They traded for T'Vondre Sweat, one of the largest players in the NFL, 366 pounds. That's his listed weight. We talked about this on the Collective. We think he's a lot more than that if you just look at him. They will also have at least 5 defensive linemen on their opening day roster who are 300 plus pounds. That includes Darrell Jackson Jr., who they drafted in the 4th round from Florida State. Demario Davis, 248 pounds. He's 32 pounds heavier than last season's Mike backer. That was Jamie Sherwood, who's going to shift over to the weak side. Braylon Allen, 240 pounds. He added 10 pounds as he rehabbed from his knee injury. He's up to 250. You look at some of the size that they've acquired. Harrison Phillips was added, Jawan Briggs. Your thoughts on the philosophy that Glenn has? Big man's game, getting bigger. Is that the right approach in 2026 to team building?
Yeah, it is. And I like the things that we did, considering we have some lighter guys on the outside that can really fly up the field. So you want that yin to the yang. What I mean by that is Will McDonald's light, right? Light in the behind, they say too. He likes to fly up. He looks like a wide receiver at times. Then you have David Bailey, bigger than Will McDonald, but still a guy that lives on the outside. What do you do in those situations? Even Joseph Asai likes to play a little bit on the outside. You beef up the middle. So for all the deficiencies that they might give you, you're going to beef up that middle to make up for it. So I do like what they've done here. And I do even like someone like Harrison Phillips that can play a little inside and outside, little 5 tech, a little 3, even some 1 tech. Yeah, Jake, I like the philosophy. They're building this team. If I had to build a defense, I would build it in a similar way, ideally speaking. If you had to just say, oh, I want pass rushers, I want beef up the middle to stop the run, I want an experienced middle linebacker, strong side, and then I want a weak side guy that kind of flies around but still learning, how to play the game. That's how you build a front 7, man. The secondary is going to need some help, but you don't fix everything in a year. But yeah, Jake, I do. I think I counted on ESPN 8 guys 300 or more pounds. Now that won't be on the opening roster, but if you go down ESPN, there's 8 technically. You have what's his name too? Anyamata is listed at 300. I don't know what he's weighing in at, but yeah, they made it a point to bring those guys in. Jawan Briggs is a big boy too. He's over 310 pounds.
I mean, this defense needs to be good. Otherwise, Glenn will not be able to save his job if the defense is not respectable, going from worst in the league to average, being a reason why they win some games this year and not a reason why they're losing games. And the offense is actually going to look competent with the pieces they've added. And the biggest one of all, Gino giving them a competent level of quarterback play.
Yeah. And Jake, they need to create turnovers this year, to be honest. I mean, like,
that's the only way they're going to win games.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. They're going to give up points, especially in the NFL today. Teams give up points. There aren't defenses that just shut you down. You have a few, the Broncos and a few others.
Seattle.
And even they give up points every other week. This isn't a league today where you're the 2003 Bucks or something. You're just shutting everything down. It doesn't happen like that anymore. With that said, you have these 2 speedsters on the outside rushing the passer, McDonald and Bailey. You brought in DeMario Davis that can also get after the passer, by the way. I hope they start doing some of that with Sherwood, blitzing them at times. You have all this flexibility with these defensive linemen we just spoke about. They can play a multitude of positions. Get after the quarterback. Let the quarterback make bad decisions. There's no reason the Jets aren't in the top half in interceptions this year. I'm serious. I know that sounds insane considering we didn't have one last year, but this is a different year and there's different expectations. The expectations are turnovers for me this year. If they can't force enough turnovers, again, there's something not fitting with what the coaches are telling the players. The players are either overthinking, they're not playing instinctive ball, they're not in the right position, and that's on the coaching. So we'll see. But they should, Jake, create a lot more turnovers this year. They had 4 last year. They should have 4 in 3 weeks this year. I'm not even joking. They should have 4 turnovers in 2.5 games. Seriously. By the 3rd quarter of game 3, they should have 4 turnovers on the year total.
That's how you win in today's NFL.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, that's on Glenn. Glenn made a career intercepting the football, too. He has over 40 for his career. Literally, Aaron Glenn was awesome at that.
That's why it's so embarrassing that stat is on his resume. You're a former Pro Bowl corner, and your team is the first team to will never happen again. That is an unbreakable record to go 17 games consecutively without an INT.
I know. It's unbelievable, man. It really is. And someone in the comments I just peeped said, top half in interceptions. Yeah, I think so. When you have McDonald and Bailey and all that defensive pressure that you can generate with that front 7, it's not about corners jumping passes all the time, which we should have, by the way, especially now when you have these younger guys with another year in the system. There's no reason that they're not tipping balls. Quarterbacks aren't in bad positions. Your offense will put up more points. So you're not having teams go on cruise control on offense, hopefully, where they don't have to score a lot of points. So they don't have to move the ball down the field. Yeah, I want them somewhere 15 to 18 at least. I do. Why not? When are we going to put some real expectations on this team? What do you want? We're always going to be in the bottom 10 and everything. All right, then. I mean, like,
right. Because good coaching could elevate rosters that aren't
coordinator, great. Jake.
Chris Banjo had the same roster restrictions that the other Jet coaches did. And you know what? He proved he knows what he's doing. And he turned the Jets into an elite special teams unit. Mike Westhoff, every year, it didn't matter about the rest of the team. The Jets special teams was going to be elite. Like, if Aaron Glenn's superpower is calling defense, his strategy that they listened to him, he clearly told Muji this is what he needs for his defense. And Muji said, let's do it. They better be good defensively. Otherwise, he won't survive, because the offense, I think, will be much better than we saw last year, but you're going to need the defense to be opportunistic and force turnovers.
1,000,000%. And after last year, where you had 4 total turnovers on the year, 0 interceptions, and you're a defensive coordinator at heart, and you say that's your superpower, and you came here underneath those principles of being a tough guy and a defensive coach and whatnot, even though you're the CEO, we know you're a defensive guy. You better be planning to put together a defense that's scaring opposing offenses. You could win football games, like you just said, getting turnovers. He should be putting blitz pressures together. Yeah, if you give up a deep play, let it go. Come after them again the next play. This front seven, if this guy knows how to put things together, they should be able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We have players that can do it. Will McDonald had 4 sacks in a game last year. I know he sort of disappeared in the other 70% of his games, but that's also because the team's behind all the time, or the other team's up by so much, they put their offense on cruise control. They're not doing anything special, but the guy can obviously get to the quarterback. David Bailey obviously can. And you have these bunch of players in this rotation in the front seven. I'm talking linebackers too. You're running these multiple front. Get after the quarterback. It's like the offensive lines in our division are that good anyway. What, the Patriots, the Bills, and the Dolphins? Probably one of those weakest, divisions outside of our line that you're going to get. Those aren't good offensive lines across the board. So there's no reason that they're not getting pressure on a week in and week out basis.
Frankie V is a noted Bailey bro. That we know. Robbie Sabo is a member of Arvell's Army. The two of them go head to head July 11th, less than a month from now, at the first ever Gangrene Beach Club. Tickets are on sale now to meet Frankie V and Robbie and Fireman Ed and myself, Samini, BT, a who's who of your favorite content creators, Richie, Matt O'Leary, Will Pa. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be a blast. GangreneBeachClub.com to get your ticket. I bring that up because everyone wants to know your take on this quote from Jets defensive line coach Carl Dunbar, who spoke to the media for the first time since being rehired by the Jets this offseason. He was asked about the perception that David Bailey struggles against the run, and he said, quote, "Don't care. Can he rush the passer?" Dunbar explained that a lot of college edge rushers aren't even asked to play the run. Have you been seeing what we're doing? We're teaching them how to do what? Play the run. Because you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. If you don't stop the run, they're not going to throw the ball. So your take on this from the Jets D-line coach.
I thought for a second that I said that, honestly. That's a perfect quote. I don't think I've agreed with the quote more. I could pin that on my wall. That's like imprinted in my mind. Yeah. I was saying this, to you, to Robbie, to Joe, to the people in the chat. The guy can get to the passer at such an elite level. The run, him stopping the run is not, to me, that detrimental that he can't A, learn it, and B, enough of a liability that you're just not going to have him on the field. Like, I didn't see those situations playing themselves in that way. Like, that wasn't going to play itself out like that. And yeah, I agree. I do not, maybe it's my fault. Looking at edges, I don't really value, unless they're that bad. Like, what's his name? Aaron Mabin, I thought was really bad against the run when I think Buffalo drafted him. And I thought that wasn't going to be an issue for him. But I don't think Bailey was that bad against the run where, he was undraftable in the top 5 or 10. Can he rush the passer? And there's no one better than Dunbar to teach him how to play the run. That was the best move Glenn made this offseason. Easily. If Bailey turns into a really good player year one and that defense is decent and the Jets can win some games, Glenn's going to have a conversation to stick around another year, and maybe he should, just being fair. Let's see how it plays out. It's a little bit of a long shot, but Jake, that's a big hire right there. Carl Dunbar is one of the best defensive line coaches. What he did in Pittsburgh for all his time there, the guys that he got paid there, Highsmith, a bunch of guys, Herbig, obviously we saw what TJ Watt did. He rebuilt that entire front seven, man. They were wrecking machines up there. They couldn't score points. They got to the playoffs every year because of him. You could argue him and Tomlin, obviously, but
100%. 100%. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Your thoughts on those comments there from Dunbar. The one thing I won't criticize Glenn for, he gets credit. He had a good relationship with Dunbar over the years. They first met when Glenn was a scout, stayed in touch with him every offseason. And they were able to hire him. And that's a really big hire for a Jets team that has the number 2 pick in the draft at that position that Carl Dunbar is going to coach. Bailey's in good hands with Dunbar coaching him up. I really believe that.
I mean, Jake, you could not have found a better defensive line coach for David Bailey than Carl Dunbar on a multitude of levels. Experience, him being here before, his personality. He's got a great warm personality. I think him and Bailey will be BFFs. They'll hang out. They're both very outgoing people. I think Bailey needs some people like that in his life. But that's a weird me kind of point. And the fronts that they were running in Pittsburgh are exactly the kind of fronts that I think would benefit Bailey. The hashtag Benefit Bailey Foundation. So that's the kind of stuff he's going to need to do, Jake. He's going to have to play a little bit of what TJ Watt did, a little bit of, Highsmith, Herbig. Like, he can play all over the place a little bit. You could put him as like a wide 9. You could put him as your outside linebacker in a 3-4. I think he could also play, if they're going to line up in a 4-3, put him an outside linebacker in a 4-3 and tell him to scream off the edge. I mean, I just think Dunbar was perfect there.
So, on PrizePicks, I want your take on David Bailey's sack number. We're presented by PrizePicks. Frankie's
That's an
already
easy
telling
over.
you, bet the over 6.5. Is he going to have at least 7 sacks as a rookie with the Jets?
I have a bet with someone, or I have a bet on this show that he's gonna get closer to double that than he will that. So double that is what, 13? He'll be closer to 13 sacks than he will 6.5. Is that fair? I'm willing to go out on a limb. He'll have like 11.5 sacks. That'll be closer to 13.
11.5 would be a monster rookie year.
Yeah, that's a walk in the park for Bailey. You kidding me?
You think he's gonna have? Do you actually think he's gonna have 11.5 sacks?
I think he's gonna. No, I don't. I think he's gonna have. I think he's gonna have 9.5 to 10. I think he's gonna have close to 10.5. I do. I think he's gonna have a game where he's gonna have 2 or 3 sacks, and that'll always skew the numbers a little bit. He'll Will McDonald it a bit. Like, you'll have a game, I think he'll have 2.5 sacks, and then he'll have a bunch, and then I'll have a game with 1.5. And yeah, I think he'll get close to 9, 10 sacks. Yeah, I do. I think 6.5 is very low.
Make your picks for Jet Futures at PrizePicks, code HMA. Click the link in the description. Download the app. Use that code HMA. $5 gets you $50 immediately in lineups. Derek, the Kansas Jet fan, in the Asmaniac raffle for one. I am working on more Nick and Jet-related prizes this week, but I can tell everyone right now that a Wayne Krebet signed football is among the weekly prizes, so anyone who enters during this show has a chance to win the Nick Finals NBA champ hat that I'm rocking. These are sold out everywhere, but I was able to get an extra one from MSG this morning to raffle away, and you'll be in the weekly raffle, of course, at the end of the week. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in live. Click the like button. Frankie V hanging out with us here. Comments, questions, your super chats, they always cut the line. David wants to know if I have any World Cup prize pick takes. I don't, because I don't really follow soccer. Shout out to the U.S., though. I did watch on Friday when they who they play? Paraguay?
Paraguay, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So Pulisic is a Jet fan, so I'm rooting for
is he?
Christian Pulisic. Yeah, he's a big Jets guy, so rooting for him. But as far as World Cup picks, I got nothing. But if you want to make your own, PrizePicks has plenty for the World Cup. Frankie, I got to play you something. I've only seen some of the quotes. I haven't watched it. So Ian Begley of SNY reported that James Dolan spoke to the Knicks before the playoffs started, gave this great speech. The Roommates podcast, which is Jalen and Hart's podcast, released the speech that Dolan gave to the Knicks right before the playoffs started. I want to play this for you because could you ever imagine Woody Johnson giving this type of speech? Remember, Dolan was thought to be a worse owner than Woody. This was Jim Dolan's speech to the Knicks before the playoffs started. Apparently, it's amazing. I haven't seen it. Let's watch it.
I wanted to come talk to you because I didn't want to miss the opportunity. I believe that this team can go all the way. And in my 30 years of doing this, I've never felt closer, right, to achieving that goal than right now. I don't know if you understand what it would mean for you to win a championship this year, to win the NBA championship. It would be life-changing for all of you. It will stick with you the rest of your lives. And if you don't win, you'll be thinking about it the rest of your lives. And why I'm here is because we have 10 weeks in your life to achieve something that will stay with you the rest of your life and the rest of my life. But you're gonna have to give it your all. You're gonna have to give more now than you've ever given before to this team and to your careers. And the big word is sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice if you want to achieve this. You have to have a discussion with yourself about what these next 10 weeks are. Because it's only 10 weeks. It's not a long time. But if you can now focus yourselves, sacrifice everything around you for these next 10 weeks to win that championship, I believe you can do it. I've seen you do it this season. And you've seen yourselves do it. You know you can do it. I believe you know you can do it. But will you do it? For the next 10 weeks, this has just got to be all about us and about how we play. It's not who we play, it's how we play. Because I believe this team can beat anybody in the NBA. We've already shown that we can. So it's not who we play, it's how we play. So when you go home and you talk to your brides and your significant others, I do want you to tell them one thing that I said. When we win the championship, right, we will get rings. And when we get rings, so will they. I will buy a ring for each one of your significant others because their contribution is going to be very important to this team winning.
I like that.
That's cool. You know, if you don't have a significant other, most of you do, find someone that is sharing this journey with you for the next 10 weeks and make that person come with you, guys. And we'll give that person a ring. I believe in you guys. I believe in this whole group. This is not just a player thing. This is an entire organization thing.
Real quick, we'll get back to Jim's speech, but I need to play this.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Okay, continue.
We've been working at this for years to get ourselves to this point, and now 10 weeks. Can you do it? Can you focus for 10 weeks? If you do that at the end of 10 weeks, we're walking out of here with rings, right? And we're walking out of here with a moniker on ourselves that will never, ever go away. Me too. Do it. Commit to it. Go for it.
That's a great speech, man. That was crazy. I would not expect that from James Dolan, huh?
Shout out to James Dolan, man.
Yeah.
Worst owner in sports. Knicks can never win with him. Doesn't know how to hire anyone. Dysfunctional franchise. These are the things that were said about that man 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Try 5 months ago.
It's just he has stayed out of it. He's allowed his basketball people, led by Leon Rose, to go out there and run the show. And the Knicks are world champions. And I'm telling you, the Jets could do it as well with Woody as their owner. Woody Johnson can own a team that wins the Super Bowl. It's possible.
Definitely, man. Yeah, things change. Things change, Jake. And I hope the Knicks become inspiration for the Jets, and they absolutely should. James Dolan should be an inspiration for Woody Johnson, the way that he's handled himself. And Dolan, you could see at the last, especially this season, but within the last year, post the Tibbs firing, you could see that he's taken a little bit more of a front seat there, trying to figure out what's going on and make the best decisions. He's been a little bit more in the public eye, and he seems to have a little bit more of a fire underneath him. But yeah, Woody should see that and have some inspiration, and the Jets should see what the Knicks have done and look at how these players are being treated now and how we're looking at them, and they're going to live in infamy. You know, they're going to be legends here forever. We're going to talk about that OG Tippin for the rest of our lives, Josh Hart's, guys like that. And I was telling my buddy the other day, I'm like, you know, Josh Hart, we might be wanting to trade him, you know, a year from now. You know, like, things change. That's what I'm saying. But when you have the time and things are right and you're able to put everything together, you got to make it happen. He's right. 10 weeks. 10 weeks, it isn't really a long time. That's a perfect way to put it. He's, you know, look in the mirror and do what you got to do. It's only going to be 10 weeks. And he was right. They ended up leaving with rings, didn't they? They were the last team standing. So I think the Jets do need somebody to kind of, you know, I think you need leader at a multitude of levels, but I think first they're going to have to figure out how to find a leader on the field, especially on offense. I think will be key.
That's
I think
the quarterback.
It's got to be.
But if you want
unless it's like the Cowboys, Michael Irving was their leader, but like that usually doesn't happen like that. But
but like their Brunson is the quarterback in football. But
Yes.
here's the thing, like it could be Geno for a year, just like it was Julius Randle until it was time to upgrade and keep leveling up. Brunson was added with Randle still there for a year and a half. Like, it's, again, I think I made this point this morning. The Jets are in hell right now. We can't think about getting to where the Knicks now are, which is world champions, until you get out of hell first. The Knicks didn't just go from awful team to playoff contender and winning a title. This was a gradual build where they hired Tom Thibodeau when he took over a 30-win team, made them a 40-plus win team, and they went to the playoffs and lost to the Hawks in 5 games, but they restored order as a franchise. They were not inept. They were a franchise that was on the rise. They had resources to build the team, and Leon Rose beautifully put it together, right? Like the Jets need to win games to establish some sort of winning culture, that they're not just a joke. You can't go from hell to the top of the mountain. You got to get out of underground before you could start climbing up. They're underground still. That's my big thing with what the Jets have to do.
Yes. The foundation's being set right now, and you see it. You know, look at what the Golden State Warriors, when they moved on from Mark Jackson, that next year, Steve Kerr, they won the championship. This is a very similar situation with the Knicks. And I think looking at the Jets right now, I feel like we're setting up ourselves to find the right coach to move us forward a few steps or many steps, make some runs, and then it might take that next guy. You're even looking at another coach to really put this thing over the top. Coaches come and go fast in the NFL. So like I don't thinking 2 coaches down the line is nuts, but I'm thinking Super Bowl now, you know, not because of the Knicks. Like I think about Super Bowls, man. Like, we've been talking about this team for how long? I've been a Jets fan my whole life. We're still reminiscing with the Rex days and going to back-to-back AFC championship games. This team's eventually got to put it together. Why the hell not? They do. I hate saying it. I always tell people, Jake, I'm like, I know everyone calls me tanky and whatnot, but tanking was a thing to find a quarterback to get closer to eventually winning a Super Bowl. That was where tanking came from. I don't want to lose games because I think it's funny when the Jets lose. I want to get a quarterback, and I think we have a good enough foundation, which I've said on your show many times. The tackles are there. The receivers are there. The tight ends are there. What the hell else do you want on offense? What else you can ask for? You got the tackles, receivers, and tight ends. What do you want? A great center? All right, we'll find one eventually. It's okay. It's not the most important position in the world. Defense is going to have its issues at times, but the pass rushers are there. The defensive line depth is there. The linebackers are there. I think the secondary is going to struggle, but you can fix that. Figure out the quarterback and the coach and go make a run at this. Do what the Patriots did. They got to the Super Bowl. They flipped it in 1 year. They could have won that game if they played better. Who the hell knows? You know,
it's just coach, quarterback. You have to start winning to build credibility, to turn things around. But it doesn't take forever in the NFL. That's the thing. It's much harder in basketball than it is in football. Football, If you get the coach and the quarterback right, you can catch lightning in the bottle and be in the playoffs. Basketball, you need all-star level players if you're going to have a chance to win. It's so much about talent in the NBA. It's football. It's a lot more about who your coach is, and the quarterback can be the great equalizer.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely, man. I think this Jets team, I think this year they need to play aggressive on both sides of the ball. I really believe in that. I do not want to see this team play some conservative defensive style game plan where they're trying to like run clock and win a 21, 17 kind of game. Go out, let Geno throw the ball all over the damn yard. If he throws interceptions, he throws interceptions. By the way, he's going to throw interceptions. It's okay. I want Garrett down the field. I want Omar Cooper Jr. to get 90 targets this year. Sadiq should have 70 targets. Mason Taylor, another 70 targets. Breece Hall, 60 targets. Get him the ball 300 times total this year or whatever, 280. Seriously, I'm talking on the ground and in the air. Get Braylon involved, Allen involved. Those tackles will be fine. Let drop back 35 times and get these receivers and Sadiq running down the field. And then on defense, get after the quarterback. If they try to come into this season, you know what? We'll know very fast. They come into this season, the first 2 or 3 games, they're playing this slow and steady, running on first and second down, or they run on first down, they run some BS play action play on second, and they do a little, 3 yards over the middle to Taylor, and they're fucking, sorry to curse, but it's 3rd and 5, and we're doing the same shit over and over again. You know how the year is going to go. It's just a matter of time until these coaches do not fit the personnel. The good thing for us is the personnel is very young. That's a good thing. So we can spare these coaches, but I'm not going to sit here and allow these coaches to treat these players like they don't have talent. Like they just have to find the right ways to just get just enough yards. You don't need just enough yards. Breece Hall's a game changer. Omar Cooper Jr. is a game changer. Garrett Wilson's a game changer. Sadiq's a game changer. Make game-changing plays. Geno's played long enough. He earned a second contract in his career. He's thrown for over 4,000 yards. So, I don't want to hear any excuses from Frank Reich or Glenn, because if we do, I'm going to call for them both to get the hell out of here. Seriously.
And look, if they're that inept again, he's gone. They're both gone.
100%, man. Come on. What? I don't want to come into this season and see Kenyon Sadiq. He runs that seam play. Great, right? Run a play action if you want, because they're going to want to run play action. These old school offensive coordinators can't get away from it. Run a play and have Sadiq running up the seam and let throw him the ball. If the safety jumps on it or the corner in the zone, then let it be. Whatever. You tried. But please, I don't want to handicap these guys. We've been playing offense, neutered offense for so long here, man. And defensively, too, send some blitz pressure. Steve Wilkes says you didn't blitz at all. These guys are running bootlegs. The linebackers don't know where the hell they're going. These quarterbacks are free in the backfield on bootlegs with no pressure in their face. Of course they're going to find players across the middle for 15 yards. They get another 20. Come on. This is the year the Jets really, I'm telling you, Glenn cannot come in with a conservative, and Frank Reich. They're older, ironically, so it's tough to say, don't be a conservative mind when you're sort of old and been around. But, that's fine. I mean, the Eagles had older coaches, too, for the longest time, and they were running some unique stuff. Dick LeBeau with the Steelers, the guy couldn't stop blitzing. Go out and get it done, man. Put the pressure on the other teams to make mistakes, not us.
Amen, man. That was a great speech. We should start calling you Frankie Jim Dolan Vitz.
Yeah.
Frankie Jim Dolan Vitorini, baby.
Nah, man. It's just you see the Knicks win, Jake, and you're we're struggling Jet fans. The Knicks are probably my second favorite team. Probably the Yankees are probably 2B. I put the Knicks 2A. And I'm a Jets fan. The Jets are my favorite team. Easily. It's just they were able to make it happen. When the hell are we going to make it happen? We can't. Sometimes we go a little too far, I think, with coaches and coordinators, and we get a little ahead of ourselves, but we're impatient, and we should be, right? I don't blame people for being impatient. What's 15 years, 16, looming. It's
and even the other bad teams in the league have a blip where they make the playoffs. They give their Cleveland's made the playoffs twice during the Jets playoff draft. They made the playoffs twice over the last 6 years?
Yeah. Totally, man. These guys got to make you. Wouldn't you love to see Garrett Wilson play in a playoff game?
Yes. Oh God.
Right. And trust me,
Jim Dolan asked the Knicks to give up sex for 10 weeks to try and win a championship. I think everyone in my audience would give it up for an entire season if we got Garrett Wilson in a playoff game.
I'd give it up for 5 years, bro. So it's all good.
For a 9-8 wild card appearance.
Yeah, 9-8, baby.
Oh man!
You know what's crazy? If Nick's listening, he's gonna think I'm crazy. I think they could win 9 games. I really.
That's
I don't
Nick's
know.
worst nightmare. He needs the Jets to go 0-17.
If they win 9 games and make the playoffs, no one should have an issue with that.
No,
nobody.
it means we have a coach. He proved us wrong.
If you win 9 games, and you don't make the playoffs, I could understand that you're drafting freaking 17th. Okay, maybe, but I mean,
maybe the Colts suck. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Colts will suck, by the way. But I mean,
better record, the Jets or the Colts?
That's a good one. I think the Colts are going to suck this year. I honestly, I think that the Jets are going to have a better record.
Well, how many games do you have the Jets winning right now?
I had them winning 5. I'm thinking now I'm creeping up into that 7 range. I have, you know what, Jake? I want to reserve judgment. I want to see how they look in camp a little bit. Like when I was watching the Justin Fields stuff last year, I was like floored at like how bad he was. And I didn't want to overreact to camp stuff, but I'm like, it kind of justified what I saw in season a little bit. This guy couldn't throw anything, man. It was just the offense didn't fit him. He didn't fit the offense. The coordinator didn't know what to do with him. Guy came from Jared Goff and you give him Justin Fields? Like, really? Made 0 sense. And point blank, proof in the pudding. Look at the season. He got fired or he left and Fields ain't here. Yeah, I have to see how camp looks, Jake. I think then I have 5 just because of Glenn and the stigma here, but I'm going to reserve judgment. I think once we start seeing how the team looks, because Jake, I actually like a ton of players on this team, and I'm not faking it or being biased because I love Braylon Allen as a talent. I liked him out of Wisconsin. I obviously love David Bailey. I liked Omar Cooper Jr. I really loved the corner. I loved Pons. Huge fan. What a great pick there. So I like a lot of guys on this. I loved Fashanu out of the draft. Membu too. So like the Jets have a bunch of guys that I really like, independent of being a Jets fan.
That's the thing. The roster's not that bad. It's just
not
the coaching concerns are real. But like, if Geno is an average quarterback, this should not be the worst team in the NFL. Not even close.
Ask people who was on the Seahawks defense last year. Some guys in the secondary. You might know maybe Walter Nolan up front. It's not like the Seahawks had some star-studded defense. They had the coach who put them in the right position and their players made plays. It's not, you don't have to, it's not the Patriots. Was the Patriots, were they some vaunted, roster last year? Keyshawn Butte is their number 1 receiver for most of the year. They had a rookie running back that couldn't even get on the field towards the end of the season. I mean, let's be honest. Who are their tight ends? I mean, it wasn't like Hunter Henry was lighting the world on fire. Seriously, like it's not. If you can get this team decent enough coaching and quarterback play, Jake, this team could really fly, man. I really believe that. Those are big what ifs, though. I mean, Woody's just got to do his diligence. Like, go and get out there. You always pay the big bucks when you need to. You're not cheap with your money. Go and see if there's any other options if this guy can't put it together. I believe they'll find a good enough quarterback that, I believe in, I can't even say I believe in Muji to kind of find the quarterback, but got to get a little lucky too,
Rick Kent trying to get a little lucky, trying to win the NBA champions. What a segue. I'm a pros pro. Try to win the NBA champions official Knicks team hat. That's up for grabs at the end of the show. Rick was rocking the Anthony Mason jersey at work today. He is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Hit it, Mike Brown.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who? We got some dogs on this team, baby.
Yeah. Can the Jets get some dogs on their team? They might have the dogs. We just might not have the coaching. We'll find out.
By the way, somebody hold on. Somebody said in the comments really quick, who did the Seahawks have on defense? They had a great defense. Not really. Let's be honest, Nicky Manwari was a rookie and I liked him, right? Ernest Jones led them in tackles. Drake Thomas. Does anyone know who Drake Thomas is, linebacker? I do, but Devin Witherspoon, Kobe Bryant, Ty Akata, Leonard Williams. Their leading guy in sacks had how many sacks did they have? 7 sacks. Nobody had over 7 sacks on the whole team. Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy, not Walter Nolan. I got the player mixed up. Both had 7 sacks. And Nwosu. I mean, come on. I'm just saying, yes, their defense was really good at times, but like the coaching got them in positions to play. If Aaron Glenn was coaching that defense last year, you think they're going to be in the Super Bowl? Sorry, they're not. Newsflash. I've looked at a lot of rosters. Do not tell me the Seahawks had some like star-studded defense last year. They did not. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, a passionate Tanky V. Rick Kent, your memberships went to Roster Dread, Ghosty Plays, Cromarty's 15th Kig, CJH, and Blaze Marley all receiving a membership. This is not going to be a long show, so last call for raffle entries. I am on about 2 hours of sleep since the Knicks won an NBA title. So if you want in on the conversation, and more importantly, for any of my fellow Knicks fans out there, even if you're not a Knicks fan, I'll send you a Jet jersey. You choose, but I figure all the Knicks fans want the official NBA Finals hat and a New York Knicks rally towel as well from the playoffs. That is the raffle prize up for grabs at the end of the show, and you'll be in the weekly raffle as well. Let's hit your calls. First up today is a man who has always a lot to say.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
I love it. Frankie V, bro, you made a 180-degree turn. You used to bum me out with your negativity, and now you are Mr. Positive. Frankie V, I love you, bro. I can't wait to see you I can't wait to dunk you in the water in AC. Dude, you are the man. You got me pumped, Frankie V.
I think the Knicks did it for me, man. This might be over by Thursday, so maybe maybe next Monday.
No, I got to tell you, Frankie V, you make a lot of, you make a lot of really good points. I mean, there's nothing really to be negative about here. I would say that, and again, I'm looking at things, my whole Jet life, I look at things through rose-colored glasses naturally because I'm like a super retarded fan for 56 years, But since they got rid of Aaron Rodgers, I look at things in a prism of negativity, and I look at the team in a more realistic vein. And last year, I smelt the 4 wins, just like Jake. I had no expectations whatsoever with Aaron Glenn. I certainly had no expectations with Fields. But this year really feels a lot different. I got to tell you, it feels different. Now, and I say it from a roster perspective. I'm not saying it from, look, the coaching also, Dunbar I really believe this guy Dunbar, I mean, he's done it for many, many years. I really believe we're going to have a much different D-line. I believe that we're going to get some more maturity out of our O-line, and I'm really happy for Tippmann. Jake, I got to, I was the original Tippmann. I had him on the show, remember?
We know you. We know you and Joe Tippmann go way back. So
I stalked his ass on vacation, Frankie V. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Tippmann and I were hanging out in a little thing at a resort down in Punta Cana. I was stalking him. I ended up having a great conversation with him. I had him on Jake's show. It was great. He's a really nice guy. Really, really nice. Anyhow, I feel that we have a lot of weapons. What about this? Speaking of booty, I think we're going to get a booty call. I heard that we might be interested in booty. I would love to have that guy Booty on our team. I just love the name.
Kayshawn Booty?
Yeah, let's get a little booty on the Jets, baby.
This is some show.
Don't you like booty, Frankie V?
My last name is Asman. Of course I like booty.
Exactly.
I love the thing calling it a booty call. That's great.
So look.
This is officially out of control.
Calm your freaky down.
At the end of the day, look, Demario Davis is going to make a huge difference with Micah on the defense. We're going to have at least some ability to call and make adjustments on the fly. I think our secondary is much, much better. I think the D-line is huge improvement. I mean, I don't see where there's a part of this team where we haven't made big improvements. And I've been saying this all along. I fully expect the points for this team to be more than the points against. Absolutely, without a question in my mind. If they had a bet on that, I would put a lot of money on that. And I don't know, man. Frankie V, you got me thinking, with that 25, are we still 25,000 to 1 to win the Super Bowl? Because Frankie V's got me pumped. I may get my bet ready. What do you think, Jake?
I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But,
no.
But I do think there's a path, as we talked about, for this team not to be awful, to be relevant.
Yes.
Play meaningful games in December. That should be the goal.
No, look, we're going to be in these games. And not only that, look, Miami has been a thorn in our ass, and we've had problems beating Miami. We haven't had a problem beating Josh Allen. We beat him with Zach Wilson, for Christ's sake. So we have a little bit of Josh Allen's number, from that perspective. So we just have to sweep Miami, grab a win from Buffalo, grab a win from the Patriots. And it's anybody's game, coming down the stretch. And don't forget, guys, Josh Allen has never been injured before in the NFL. I mean, there's some injuries that have to happen. We have to get the injury bug on our side for once in our goddamn lives. Let somebody else go down with an Achilles in our division so we could, sneak in a little bit. There's a lot that can happen.
The Jets still then need to deliver. They had that in 08,
right.
And they were 8-3. Brady was done for the year, and they allowed Chad Pennington and the Dolphins to win the division that year. And the Jets were the best team in football once they beat the 10-0 Titans. That team should have been in the Super Bowl if Favre didn't play through the bicep strain. Like, you got to make your own luck too. Like, you could get a break. The Knicks took advantage of the Spurs collapsing because they're winners. Like, you gotta go out there and take it, and the Jets haven't done that.
Yeah, and the other thing, guys, too, is, am I overreacting when I'm looking at Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, Mason Taylor, Breece Hall, and the two bookend tackles? Am I overreacting?
No.
Talent-wise, those guys are as good as you're going to get. Talent-wise, I'm just saying, Kenyon Sadiq at the Combine did things we've never seen before. At Oregon, made some plays that you rarely see. Mason Taylor's always open or figures out how to get open. The receivers are electric, and the guy Breece Hall, that's really what he does. He's one of the most electric players. Look at his first year. He came out of the scene. He was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And these two tackles, I think, are very, very good. They're top 10 in the league. I mean, are we overreacting?
No, Frankie, when you put a 13 personnel out there, Sadiq and Taylor could also block. So when you put two tight ends out there and even three tight ends and fill it up, look, you have there's a lot of hands on this team that could perform. The bottom line is going to be this. You said it. They have to be aggressive.
Yes.
Frankie, we had a whole year last year where they didn't throw the ball into the goddamn end zone one time.
Yeah.
Not once.
They'd go. We went half a season. I think we had 3 passes over 40 yards.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Come on, man.
That's why Fields didn't even throw an interception last year, right?
Right.
He didn't have that's a conservative mind. And now I don't know, Neil or Jake. I don't know. Every offensive coordinator we get seems to always be more conservative than they actually are.
Because the quarterback sucks. That's what you typically
that's probably, you're right. That's probably what
Gino's not going to be conservative. Frank Reich's not being conservative with Gino. He's going to sling it all over the field. He's going to throw 500 plus times this year.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it all really comes down to Gino. I mean, it's the bottom line is this. Gino is, feeling his oats. I don't think Frank Reich is going to have a problem dialing up an offense that's going to put points on the board. I just don't. I mean, we're going to see things that we're not used to, and we're so starved. I mean, our offense has been so goddamn awfully awful for the last 5 years. I mean, it's not. We haven't scored 30 points. I mean, we don't even score.
Well, they did it week 1, and then they didn't do it in any game after that.
I mean, come on.
The best offense we've seen, Neil, was what Jake just alluded to. The Brett Favre.
Yes.
Before he hurt that was the most electric offense passing game.
2015 with Fitzpatrick.
Well, that's what, guys, that's what you have with Geno. He's a gunslinger. He's going to sling it like Oh, you mean you hope so?
I hope they throw the ball a lot, though.
Yes. I mean, look.
They're not running. Yeah.
You got nothing to lose. Look, Frank Reich is going to go. I mean, that's the one good thing for us. We always do well when our expectations are at the lowest end because there's no pressure on our team. Everybody expects us to suck. And, they're going to go out there and they're going to surprise people because you don't know what the hell we're going to come at you with. So I really feel we'll be 4-4 at some point in the season. That's what I'm hoping for. We get to 4-4. We have some hope. We start to turn things around and we lose it, late in the year, or we get baffled out because we get out coached by another team. And then Woody realizes, hey, we're a coach away from really taking the next step. And maybe Geno's not the guy. And, we go get, what's his name? My boy there, Baker Mayfield or something like that. Or God willing, 3 first-rounders for Joe Burrow and throw next 5 years drafts at him and let's make a run here. Let's get our Brunson. Come on, man.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
I'd say it's 85 to 90% that their next quarterback is in the draft. But if they have a better year than we expect, we don't know which veterans could be available a year from now. So maybe it could be a trade, but I'd be surprised if they're not drafting a quarterback.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny? So at Ryan's wedding, I think Ryan's wife, Lex's uncle, I believe, he's a big Jets fan. I think he watches your show too. He was saying he watches you, he watches Matt, watches a few people. He's like, Frankie, I have a confession to tell you. I'm like, what? He's like, the future quarterback of the Jets is currently on the roster. I was like, who? He's like, I'll tell you right now, you've never met a bigger Cade Klubnik guy.
Oh, he's chubbing. He's chubbing for.
Oh, dude, big time. He's like, listen. He's like, I'm telling you, I don't even know if we're gonna need to draft a quarterback next year. I'm like, come on, man. I was like, let's not do this right now. Not yet. He's like, I'm telling you. He's like, hey, who knows? I would highly disagree with that happening, but hey, life is crazy. Look at
the Knicks are NBA champions, so anything can happen. I mean, some are saying the Knicks run started when they drafted Cade Klubnik. I mean, the Knicks only lost 2 games in the playoffs post Cade Klubnik.
Yeah.
Or actually, no. They only lost 1 game.
1 game.
Post drafting Cade Klubnik.
How many games did the Knicks lose? What was their record after that Dolan speech?
Oh, the Dolan speech was before 3rd? The playoffs. They were 16-3.
Wow. Okay.
And they were 1-2 to start.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Hey, man, it takes time. I mean, they were talking. I was reading something before about, with Dante DiVincenzo, how bad the Knicks wanted him. And they actually thought that would, change some of the energy there and some of the relationships, him being a Villanova guy. And the Timberwolves wouldn't budge. They were not going to make that cat trade unless Dante was part of it. And the Knicks thought, and there were people in that, in that building that thought that would be a catalyst for them maybe not being able to keep things together. But I mean, when you have someone like Jalen Brunson, man, and Neil's right at the end of the day, what you said, I mean, what everyone's saying, we need to find our version of Jalen Brunson. Now, I think that could come in the form of a quarterback or a head coach, but I think with this talent, I think it's going to take a leader to kind of bring everything together. And if the owner could pull the right strings, I think the GM gets it. hey man, the New York sports were kind of back. No, are we back, baby?
We're
Is it time?
back. We're world champions. We're back.
I mean,
Yeah, we are the champions. Me and my friends from New York, we love the Knicks.
Yeah. Mikey Midnight nailed it.
Yeah, that was incredible. They should have him at the parade, man.
He should be on a float next to Brunson.
Absolutely.
Tanky, you're the man. This was a lot of fun.
No, I was. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jake.
Frankie V, U Stadium. Frankie V, Gangs All Here pod, doing his thing. If you're on hold, stay there. I'm going to keep taking your calls. Who was that? Rich who was on the line? Rich Wise. He was on hold the whole time. I was about to go to him, and he just dropped out. Whoever with the last name Rise was just on hold. Call back, and I was going to go to you. Let me shout out Yo Holmes first, though, because he sent in a $20 Venmo to Jake Asman, and he just purchased himself 4 raffle tickets for our Nick Championship hat and playoff towel coming up shortly.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Last call for entries. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me right now is a man that is revered in this community, and we are about to debut a brand new intro.
He's throwing parties for Jets fans. You see him shouting at Knicks games. This guy's getting that beast, his hot water. 69 so many times he's lost count. No surrender, he's never leaving early. Jets, Lou B.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Jake. That is hilarious. Thank you, Gator. I think that must have been a Gator production. I appreciate it. I never asked for an intro because I saw what happened to Rob when he asked for one. I didn't want a JJ intro coming anytime soon. But I appreciate that. That is hilarious.
Well deserved, Lou B. You are a tremendous, tremendous Asmaniac. What you did for Beast, what we're doing together, Gangrene Beach Club, what we did already in Pittsburgh, man. You're the man. Well deserved.
I try. I really appreciate that. I got to rewind and watch it again just to get, because I know he puts all these little nuggets in there, Gator, but I appreciate it, Jake. And once again, we're getting ready for something. The parade this Thursday, we're trying to figure this out. There's a lot of details that we're trying to work around. So
we're going to do a meetup for any Nick fan, Asmaniac, that's going to the parade. I'm waiting to hear the exact route start time so we could actually logistically plan this as best as we can when there's 5 million people potentially going to one area of the city.
And we have to get ready for when there's 10 million people. So we need to, for the Jets, so we have to get ready for the Jets parade. So we're going to scout it out this week and try to figure out, there's so many things, so many moving parts for this, but I can't wait for that. I can't wait for Gangrene Beach Club. We're also going to celebrate the Knicks that day. I know it's going to be a little mixed up, but the Knicks fans are invited to Gangrene. I guess they'll be wearing their colors, but
I'll wear Jets and Knicks gear, honestly.
Yeah, there you go. So if you sell it, there's such crossover between Jets and Knicks fans. It's sort of, we're going to have them both there, and hope no Jet fans mind, but my heart is 100% with the Jets, and I love the Knicks too. I mean, this was just the most incredible experience at these games. Me and Jake were together for most of them, and wild. You just cannot make it up. And if Dolan could do it, Woody could do it. That's it, man. That is it. We got so many things going on, right?
Would you give up sex for a Super Bowl like James Dolan asked the Knicks players to do?
How long?
Well, for the Knicks, it was 10 weeks.
10 weeks, no sex, no problem. For the Jets to win a Super Bowl, forget it.
I give up multiple years for a Super Bowl.
I'd throw in a year.
I'd probably give up a year for 10-7 and making the playoffs.
Well, listen, there's a lot we would all give up on this. Anyone that's watching this right now would give up a lot for the Jets to win. And I think they're really going to. I really feel they're on the right path. I was just looking at last year's draft order, Jake. From 1 to 7, we pretty much, Membo was pretty much the best pick, right? You had Abdul Carter, Cam, who knows what he's going to be. Trevor, Will Campbell was a bust. Ashton Genty, still don't know what he is. And I think we got the best pick from 1 to 7 last year. Still looks that way. There was an injury, obviously, that put the other guy out. But with that in mind, I think Muji is great. He hit it again today out of the ballpark. That guy was going to get paid a lot more from someone else as soon as he came free agent. We were never going to compete with that money. Bums are getting big money right now. So with that in mind, great. Again, Muji is the man. And then we have Tennessee. Tennessee's coming up. Barstool, that's going to be great.
Yep.
There's a tailgate the day before. Barstool Sports Saturday. This is just going to be madness.
Let's go, baby. RSVP. You want it to pay a cover if you click the link. We already have like 100. We almost have 200 people that have RSVP'd already for the Barstool Nashville event. It's going to be insane, Jet fans. So if you're making the trip to watch the Jets beat Salah week 1, day before the game, big party. And as Lou said, tailgate the morning of, GameDayFlightCrew.com to get tailgate tickets. They're on sale for $75 till July 1. It's $85 after July 1. So save $10 and just lock in your tailgate spot now.
And then there's a bar crawl that ends there at the time we start.
That's right.
So this shit's going to be this is going to be madness. If you can, try to get a ticket as close to section 110 as you can. I'm trying to locate more tickets right now. It's hard. I think we just filled up pretty much the whole section.
Crazy. It's going to be nuts.
Jake, what was your craziest moment at Madison Square Garden?
It's a good
last
question.
2-3 weeks. It's been like a mission. I don't know how these guys do it game after game. I'm exhausted from going to the game. I can't even imagine how these guys play a day after.
Greatest sports moment I'll ever experience live, ever.
Jake, did you see that play that I sent you of the guy in the orange shirt that moved closer to?
Yeah, Spike's guy, the guy from who you know, Al, right?
Yeah.
What's his last name? Al Patagonia?
Al Patagonia is a legendary guy. Neil knows him well.
Well,
And
Cat's
he's
a
been
legend for telling him to move over a little. That's home court advantage right there. That was awesome.
And he's been going to these games for 40 years, literally, sitting courtside next to Spike, maybe 35 years, something like that. And Carl knows him. So he was like, move in. And Al knows the game very, very well. So he just moved in as close as he could. He made it like he was looking another place, and he boxed him in. And there goes that shot. 1.2 seconds left. Al's been waiting for 40 years for that to be on the court, and that was his day. So happy for him, too. He's the biggest Knicks fan you could imagine. And I just love it, man. I'm so excited for the parade. Going to get ready for the Jets parade one day.
Got my chain ready to go, baby.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that one.
Let's go.
I didn't know you got that.
You don't even want to know how much this cost at Madison Square Garden today.
I can't believe I didn't even know they had a store. I would have went and got that hat.
I was there. I was there early. I'll tell you what, Lou, give the membership. You're getting the raffle. Chance to win.
Put me in. I'm going to send my chat in now. Everyone have a great day. Thank you for the intro. I got to rewind it and watch this now. This is hilarious.
Hey, stop what you're doing. Watch it right now.
He's throwing parties for Jets fans. See him shouting at Knicks games. This guy's getting that beast. His hot water. 69 so many times he's lost count. No surrender. He's never leaving early. Jets, Lou B.
Yeah, baby. Shout out to Gator. Masterful job with that. I'm glad Lou loves it. Windy City Jet fan in the house. Windy City gifting 5 channel memberships. Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Yeah. Shout out to Windy City. Appreciate your contributions. You're in the raffle for 5. All right. Got time for one more call, and then the master raffle ceremony might be asleep. So we're going to have to look into this. Humble Rise, you're next. What's up, man?
Hey, Jake.
What's up, man? You were on hold the whole time. I could have not let you call in after you just dropped off after Frankie.
I was like, he's busy guy. No, I watch your show every day, dude. I really appreciate all you do, and so happy for the Knicks, man. Actually, in the last couple years, this is the birth of my Knick fandom, to be honest with you. Watching your show and just following that journey, it's so cool to see them get it, and it's a good feeling. Like I haven't been a Knicks fan as long as some of these suffering Knicks fans, so I get to enjoy it a little sooner than. But I'm going to be forever a Knicks fan after that. So
that's what winning does, right? That's like it's
absolutely.
I mean, people like I grew up hearing all the stories from the people in my life about those 70 Knicks teams and Clyde Frazier and Dave DeBusschere and Willis Reed and Bill Bradley and Phil Jackson. And it's, Earl Monroe. And That
Yeah, and
an
my
entire generation of fans that pass it down, and it's amazing. There are so many people who have grown up, younger people with these teams. They will now talk about the 2026 Knicks for the rest of their life.
my dad grew up in the Bronx, and I've been telling him all through playoffs, like, Dad, you got to watch the games. And he just watched the finals game this past week, and he's like, or on Friday, he's like, I haven't watched a Knick game since Clyde Frazier. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I remember as a kid, I used to just get on the subway. We'd pay $7 to go in and watch them play. I was like, $7? You know how much the tickets are right now? It's insane. He did it for $7 to go into Garden and watch them play. So anyways, with that being said, I'm always hopeful for the Knicks, man. I mean, for the Jets, it's so sad every year. I believed in Salah. I wanted to believe in Salah. And I really, in my heart of hearts, I want to believe in Glenn. And I hope he turns it around for us. And I'm hoping in Gino as well. It would just be really great for us to have that feeling again one more time. Even if we just get to the playoffs, man, it'd be great. It'd be absolutely great. So, but we knew last year, as Frankie said, watching Frankie last year talk about how terrible Justin Fields was, I still had hope for Justin Fields. And we all knew then we were dead in the water with Justin Fields. So let's hope that at training camp we can have a little hope for Geno Smith.
Geno can throw the ball. So
Yeah.
the practices are going to look a lot better. There'll be days the offense wins. I'm not concerned about that. I just need him to be protected, make good decisions. Frank Reich's got to utilize the talent. There's a path to being a competent offense. I actually feel better about the offense right now than the defense. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's exciting because we have, like you've said many times, we have so many weapons. Frank Reich just has to put all these guys in position, use them well. We got Geno as the quarterback. We got Cooper. We got freaking Sadiq. We got Allen. We got Brees. Can't forget Garrett. We got them all. We got to make this happen.
Agreed.
So,
agreed.
Absolutely.
And look,
Absolutely.
Here's the thing too. You mentioned Sadiq. Would you say he's a certified freak?
He's a certified freak.
I was obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. 7 days a week, has a hernia tweak. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. Trying to critique what I read in Newsweek. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. Trying to take a peek at his manly physique. Obsessed with Sadiq, certified freak. Time to take a leak and play hide and go seek.
Now, let's get back to our feature presentation with Dr. Jake Asman. Let's roll it. Roll 'em, Daddy-O's. Let's go. Party time. Party time. Let's party. Are we ready? Can't hear you. What's wrong with this damn sound?
Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
I don't want to talk to that person.
Good job.
I don't want to talk to him. Now let's get back to our feature presentation with Dr. DJ Jake Asman. DJ. Ouch! Hey, hit my teeth. Oh well.
Last call for raffle entries. I'm counting them. Candyman super chat says, "Let's go, Gino. Jet up.
Jet up. Let's go."
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to spin the wheel of champions. Someone's gonna win a piece of forever. An NBA champion. Official locker room licensed headwear from the champs. Ladies and gentlemen, the master of raffle ceremony is on the line.
My ears, Jesus, what are we trying to do? Pull up my eardrums and go, blip? All right, enough of that talking. Girls, the wheel, please. Now we're really going to get a winner today, aren't we? Yes, we are. The hands are ready. The countdown is on at 3, 2, 1. Let it rip!
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wheel of Champions. Before we get to the Wheel of Champions, some last-second entries. Black Gypsy, of course, Mr. Gypsy wanted in. He has gifted 1 channel membership. Black Gypsy, we're adding your name for another entry. And Aaron sent in a $10 super chat to get 2 raffle entries, and he asked, who let the dogs out? The answer?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who? We got some dogs on this team, baby.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron, you were in 4-2. Appreciate you. 1-2. All right. I spelled your name wrong. I'll adjust it for the weekly raffle, but we got you down. Oh, we got more. Lou B says in. Lou is in for 4. Hold on. Now we got to type Lou's name 4 times. Thank you, Lou. Lou trying to win the hat. Lou, if you win it, I'll give it to you in person at the parade. Here we go. Black Gypsy trying to be the last one. He is the last one. I'm on no sleep, but I need to end. I need to stop talking. Knicks are world champions, baby. All right, here we go. 106 entries today. The hat that the Knicks wore when they won their first championship in 53 years is the prize. Good luck to all. The winner is Mimosa. Hey, Mimosa is the winner of today's Asmaniac weekly or daily raffle. Hit it.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Congrats to Mimosa, one of the all-time greats. She always likes the Frankie V appearances as well, so fitting that you won on a day Frankie was on the show. Mimosa, this and a Knicks playoff towel is coming your way. I will get that out to you this week. Actually, Mimosa, I believe, is coming to the New York area this week, so maybe I'll give it to you in person, Mimosa. We'll work that out off air. But anyway, congrats to Mimosa. She's great. Everyone who tuned in today, thank you. If you want more Knicks content, 3 hours of my instant reaction as one of the first voices on ESPN New York, we're the home of the Knicks. I did a 4-hour overnight show Saturday into Sunday morning talking about the Knicks winning a title. So that is on the YouTube channel. Check it out if you want more Knicks content. Hopefully the Knicks provide some hope for our Jets. You guys are the greatest. Remember one thing. The New York Jets are the champions. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Mini camp getting underway. We'll have live coverage on the show. Remember this. We are the champs. Hit it, Mike.
Yeah, we are the champions. Me and my friends for New York. We love the Knicks.
See y'all. Never.
The New York Knicks are world champions. Let's go. The comeback Knicks have done it. They are now the champion New York Knicks. This is a championship that will last a lifetime. We may never, ever see something like what we saw from these New York Knicks.
The Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
And if you are a long-suffering, diehard Knicks fan, this night and this run is for you.
I only worry about one person's penis, and that's mine. So everybody else's, I don't really care.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.